Hello, John S. Rhodes of the Rhodes Brothers here. This is Greater Wealth Through Mastery. And the topic of today's short talk is compounding. Now, that might bore you to tears. And you might be thinking, oh, it's math and I don't like math. Well, let me point something out right at the get go. You use math all of the time and you're constantly thinking in terms of mathematics. You just don't know it. And what I'm talking about is anytime that you think about, talk about, or use money, you are dealing with math. Anytime you're trying to create or set up a to-do list, you are actually thinking about math. For example, if you have a to-do list, you are prioritizing the things that need to get done. And when you prioritize something, you're actually applying math. This is more important than that. So you are speaking relatively to yourself. You are working from a relative perspective for yourself. Now, again, math need not be boring. And the topic of today very much is compounding. Let's talk about what that really, truly means. I was looking back at my social media and I realized that more than a year ago, I had posted that 1% can be life changing. 1% increases, in fact, can radically transform your life. Let's look at what that means. So 1% more doesn't feel like anything, and it doesn't really sound like anything. It sounds actually kind of boring. 1%, just doesn't sound like it's very, very good. For example, making 1% interest on $100 is $1. That's quite boring. But here's the thing. When you take 1% and you compound that over time, almost magical things start to happen. So if you were to improve just 1% per day, so 1% per day for 365 days, so 1% per day for an entire year, you would be 37 times better. So let me say that again. If you were to improve 1% per day for an entire year, you would be 37 times better. Now, nothing is linear and things don't actually compound 1% at a day, but you can certainly try to achieve that. Furthermore, even if you have some setbacks on some days, you will have other days where you are improving 2 or 3% in some domain. Now, it need not be you as a whole, as a human, you're improving 1% per day. It can be some tool, it can be some technique, it could be some knowledge, it can be some activity. Typically, if you want to get better, then it is a matter of getting 1% better in some way at value creation and production. That's a topic for a different day. If you'd like to know more, please comment below. Okay, so what does this actually mean if we were to run the math through? Well, it's very interesting. If we were to take $10 and improve by 1% per day, just making 1% on top of 1% on top of 1%, 1% compounded on that $10, $377 is the result. Again, going from $10 to $377 in 1 year. That's the power of 1% compounded daily. Again, $10 all the way to $377. You can get out a calculator and just drop a number in and then multiply times 1.01 because it's that 0.01 that's 1%. And just do that 365 times. So you can put in $1,000, you can put in, $10,000 and just go 1 times 1.01, 365 times, bam, 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 on the calculator, and you will see what happens to your money. Well, the exact same thing applies to your life and your skills and your productive output, the value that you can provide. Now, the reality is you are likely to fall far, far short of improving 1% per day. Way, way less than that. But the magic here is that even if you were to fall way, way short, you would still double, triple, quadruple your productivity, the amount of money that you're collecting, the general value that you can provide to yourself, and very importantly, to other people, to customers, friends, family, whatever or whomever it is that you might be targeting. So, again, it doesn't matter where you are starting in many things in life. It doesn't really matter where you are starting as long as you have a runway and you have a way of compounding, you have a way of making these very, very small, incremental, habitual, regular updates and upgrades to your life, to your products, to whatever it is that you're working on. I believe in you, my brother Matt Rhodes. We believe in you. We know that you can do this. Now, one last little piece of this that could be very, very useful to you. You can take this compounding principle of improving 1% per day for 365 days, and you can add other mental models and other approaches. An example would be the Pareto principle or the 80-20 principle. So again, let's go back to the to-do list as an example. You could create a to-do list with 15, 20 things on it. And then what you can do is apply the 80-20 rule to that to-do list and go after the top 2 or 3 things, not all 20, because you know you're going to get the most value out of going after the very, very top priority, highest value activities. And then what you do, so that's the first thing, the 80-20, the Pareto principle applied to your to-do list. And then just try to improve, just try to increase the productivity and the value of those top items. And you do that every single day. Like, how could I address my emails better? How could I better interface with my freelancers and my team? How could I better improve my video editing skills? How could I, whatever it happens to be? So you can take a look at those top 2, 3, 4 things on your to-do list after you've prioritized them, and then you can really, really go after them. Again, you can combine these mental models, these mathematical and proven approaches, and you can radically transform your life. Now, if you look on the Rhodes Brothers channel, you will see that we talk about the different kinds of tools and techniques that you can use to apply the mental models in yet more productive ways. And there's just so much synergy, so many opportunities for you to take advantage of this. Now, you'll see on the screen any minute, if it hasn't already popped up, you can look up here, or maybe it's down here somewhere. The next video will give you that kind of breakthrough that I am talking about right now. And the Rhodes Brothers are just loving what we're providing because we know that it's working for you. So again, follow the video, might be down there, might be there, not quite sure. Does this resonate with your experience? Can you vibe with this? Are we in the same wavelength? Let me know in the comments below. And obviously share this with someone who you think might get value out of this. But again, the breakthrough that you're going to achieve, very likely to show up in that next video. This is John S. Rhodes of the Rhodes Brothers signing off, and thank you for your time.